Comrades, welcome back to Realpolitiks. This is episode 17, and I am Admiral Andre. Let's kick it off and see where this episode takes us. We are still busy with the galaxy exploration, the colonization of Jupiter, as well as the international underwater base, which I'm very curious to see more about. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that. And of course we're completely broke basically, so that's another problem. But hold on, just look at the income at the moment. It's over 1,000, which is actually very surprising. I didn't notice that last time. Is that purely because of the stock market? It can't be, because it's not as high as it was at its peak. So for some reason we're really making a lot of money. We can see there, okay, most of it does come actually from the stock exchange, but also a lot from taxes. So, well, that's fantastic. So we should get a lot of money very quickly. So let's do this one again and just take out as much money as we need to cover the expenses until these funding initiatives are finished. Then let's have a look. We're also busy with the anti-tank tactics as well as the green energy focus, and we are still busy getting rid of our high warmonger level. Then I see also our HDI is still at 100, so I think that's something that should come back to 105 in this year, if I'm not mistaken. Brazil has opened its own stock exchange, so I think we better go back into sabotage mode. But let's first remove it from our stock market here and just clear the space. So hopefully this works. Let's see, it's another 830, but good luck. Let's see if our stock market sabotage agents are any good. Again, Chinese in Siberia. The Chinese people are migrating in droves to the north and settling in Siberia. They are becoming the majority in these lands. So I guess this has just continued from before when we also saw this. Let's just fund this underwater base again. So yes, this won't take too long in Brazil. So let's just have a look around the world if we see anything else happening. There's something in Greece. Let's see, what is it? We would like to see the opening of your labor market to our people to help cement our friendship. I think this is the same thing we did with the Spanish before. So we take action points away, but our relations with Greece will go up. Their unemployment will decrease and our population will increase. So I'm not sure if we want to be doing this. Did it really lead to anything good last time? I'm not sure. I don't think it will be too much of a problem now because we have zero unemployment. So let's say, okay, let's see if we can get some Greek people here and use their skills to grow our economy. South Korea's status has been degraded. Let me just take care of all of these things before. I just want to have a look at our unemployment. What is it actually? 0. So there is absolutely nothing to worry about. If it starts climbing again, I'll just implement that special project again. Tajikistan is bankrupt again, so that's happened many times. Galaxy, that's an expensive one, but it's understandable because Jupiter is quite far out and it will take, I'm sure, quite an extensive effort to colonize any of the moons there. Anything else? India is still fighting its rebels. I don't know what happened with that whole peaceful initiative. I'm sure it will hopefully reduce at least the conflicts in the future. Pakistan wants something, it looks like military. Our country is on the verge of civil war. We could use the help of an international military mission to help us keep the peace. And that means we lose some infantry. But I actually don't want to do that. I mean, I have all sympathy for Pakistan and its fighting of rebels, which it's done many times. But I don't want them to then use this infantry to start another war with India or someone. But I guess they have that anti-aggression pact that should last, well, probably around 20 years, but it's already started a few years ago. So, okay, I'll do it. It'll cost us and all of that, but we can easily get the infantry back, and maybe it helps to avert some more bloodshed. New proposition, and the UK stock exchange is closed again, so we could get them back if we wanted. So another one that I didn't do. Anti-democratic cooperation, so they're voting on this again. I guess the other one has expired already. Brings economic bonuses for authoritarian and totalitarian countries, and it's strange, the proposer is actually the UK, so it looks like there are fewer and fewer democracies left in the world. Only Australia, France and Japan are voting against it, so it will definitely pass. And it was a failure, so we didn't actually manage to shut down Brazil's stock market. That's a shame. I'm not going to try again. I'm just going to take advantage of that closure in the UK. So we'll take them now. It really is a game of musical chairs, and sometimes you just have to take somebody else until eventually somebody sabotages Brazil again. But so far actually, and I don't want to say this again too loudly, oh, the US has also opened one. And France. What's happening in the world? But I wanted to say, nobody has sabotaged us yet in the sense of us having to close our stock market. But now we're losing so many partners. Oh well, that's a very bad hit to our income. Look, it's half of what it was just a moment ago. Agents from Japan trying to spy on us. See, I told you. They are our rivals. Hey, Japan. No. Hopefully we can find another home somewhere in the moons of Jupiter. Hey, we did it. Yes, we did. Yes, I wanted to stop myself from being too happy, but we managed it. So I guess we share this with Canada and the US. I mean, they said this is an international base, but we get the province and the core, so that's fine by me. So that's another 100 score and 15 more HDI, so we're at 115 now. Hopefully we still get that 5 back from Uganda. Then relations improve, which we desperately need, even though it's just 2, and we get some more resources for a while. That's fantastic, and I don't mind working with the US and Canada. France, Australia, there's Japan, I told you they would be there. And this time Russia is also in the picture, but right at the bottom, so there we go. Nautilia, so this one is in the Indian Ocean. Interesting. More loans. Uzbekistan is bankrupt again. All of those countries just remain in bankruptcy because they are helping the Indians. And surprisingly, they're staying in the bloc of India for a long time. Well, good for India. Apart from the rebels, of course. So, well, we have to just wait for this galaxy one now, or the Jupiter one. So let's see, is there anything else happening? I wanted to also look at our population. Let's just see. I don't really remember what it was originally. 9-7. I think it was 5-4 or 5 something. So we've almost doubled the population. Serial killer. There's a serial killer, but okay, about the population, it's also because we took over the other countries, so obviously we get their people too. There's a serial killer on the loose. He's moving around the country, which makes it even harder to catch him. No one is safe. Catch him and hold him. He'll get bored soon enough. Never. I'll never leave him. So it will cost us money and action points and a bit of unhappiness, but it's better than a lot of unhappiness, so catch him. Australia, so we better take care of our stock market partners that we still have. So yes, it's going to be a few months before we can add another one. And the loans just keep coming. We caught the killer. People can finally rest easy. What are we going to do with him? Electric chair or prison for life? I don't know. Relations with the whole world will drop if we execute him. and personal control will go up. So I guess throw him in prison for life. We can use the relations with the world. So if any good comes from the serial killer, we can use him to improve our relations with the world. But he can rot in prison forever. So yes, still number 3. So yes, at least now we formally get these bonuses again. I think we were still officially number 3 until this ranking, I guess. I don't know. This next prize thing is still coming up, so maybe it only takes effect in 62. Oh well, doesn't matter. We'll get it. So, that's what's happening in the world. Let's see. Anything else? Nothing? Australia, are you willing to be a partner to us yet? Hold on, what's happening here? If I try to invite them now, it says 0 because oh, it's still relations. Oh yes, oh well. Units required, we have more than enough, but the relations are just not really helping. So let's say improve again. Maybe we'll be able to do it now because of these bonuses to relations that we got with the whole world. And I'd love to put Australia in our bloc. Nepal joined the bloc of Japan, and Pakistan, surprise, surprise, is bankrupt again. Or I should say still. Pour the money in there. So UK, are you an authoritarian country? Yes, you are, barely. That's why they're proposing this UN thing. What? Failure? That's not okay. And now we have to wait 100 days. That's unfortunate. 25 days till we can add another stock market partner, so I guess that will be the UK. There's our friends again. Anti-democratic cooperation. So this thing passed again. It was officially ratified. We get some GDP growth. Unhappiness will go down, which we need. And more natural resources. Fantastic. There's our friends. Live long and prosper. Why, thank you. You too. Somalia. Yes, that's the thing I also wanted to mention at some point. Somebody made the comment, it's been a while now, but for another Let's Play of this game in the future, I could perhaps look at either Somalia or Taiwan, Republic of China, which I think they're both excellent suggestions. I mean, both of them would be very challenging as well, more so than South Africa. But I'm very interested in Somalia. That would be a good one. Taiwan as well, but I think that one will be a bit more difficult even. Because obviously one of our goals will be then to reclaim the rest of China. And I don't see how that's going to be an easy job, but it would be possible over the very long term. But just to get Somalia to a status where it doesn't have all the chaos and problems that it has at the moment and has had for the last few decades, that will be fantastic if we can turn Somalia into a highly developed country that is actually a regional power. So maybe in the future that will be a good option. Peace treaty between the US and Canada has expired, so hopefully there's not more conflict. I saw something down here. Zambia wants something. A new consulate. Absolutely. Doesn't really take too much. And we have 120 HDI, so we got our 5 back from Uganda. That's fine. Well, that's good. We're really super developed now, but we're still medium economic development for some reason. Main country Israel. A water shortage conflict occurred. Those who are less fortunate demand some of the liquid gold from others. Unfortunately, no one wants to share any in these dire times. So I wonder with whom? Difficult to say. Anti-tank is finished. Let's just fund this thing again. I don't care about the loans right now. So what's next? That was the anti-tank thing. If we can get some more money, we've got so many resources right now. We can add this small exports as well. It will take 65 more, but you can see that clearly we can definitely afford to have all the exports active at the same time, which is actually a great situation to be in. So, is there anything else happening? That's still, I think, one of the great features of this game. The fact that you have to keep looking at the map to see if there's any new developments. It doesn't just pop up. I think that's great. National Anthem. Our national anthem doesn't exactly reflect the pride and power of our nation. Perhaps a healthy dose of historical revisionism in its lyrics would help remedy that. That will increase militarism but also unhappiness. Let's do it. Let's reinvent history there. Let's say we have always been a great country. So yes, people will be unhappy for a while, especially for some reason. Still in Antarctica, it must be the cold. But they will eventually come to peace with that. So let's add somebody new to the stock market. Let's see, what are our choices? We could get Indonesia back as well. Japan, even though they're really our rival. But we'll start, Germany. Germany, you're number one. Forget about the UK for now. After this, we can add the UK, I think, and Japan. Because even though they're our rival, with them in our bloc, we can at least profit from them. So, why not? If they are our rival, I think it's only fair that we exploit them as much as possible. Pakistan, what do you want? Oh, it's gone. Money. Stock was closed due to the action of unknown spies. Thank you, Russians or Iranians or whoever it was that sabotaged the US. That happened very fast. I mean, they just started their own stock market and now it's closed again. So yes, let's see. Economy, green energy, we're still busy with that. What else can we do? Sector regulations. That's a lot of money though. I need something that's going to give us more money. Or at least more growth. Digital bureaucracy. Not that that will give us more. It'll give more unemployment, but also more taxes. Interesting. Interesting, but that costs too much anyway. We can forget about it for now. Economy modernization. Oh, it leads to more tax income as well. Improve prestige and the perception of our state financial entities around the world. Absolutely, do it. We could use that. So the US will definitely be my first choice now with the new stock market. Colony crisis, France, and we are also participating. This must be in space. Yep. So France is complaining about all four of us now, the space powers. Although we are still number one space power, South Africa can into space. Countries with space colonies are keeping all the resources for themselves. This causes a great disparity between those with a piece of cosmic land and those without. Too bad. We now have Russia, even though they stole that from us, we can now hide behind them if there's any trouble with France. So and the US, so they will find that there's nothing they can do really to change that situation. If you want a piece of land in space, you have to be prepared to pay for it. And that goes for Russia as well. Thieves. So why don't they bid more? Confederation of Estonia joined the bloc of the US, so they are not a puppet of Russia at all. At least not anymore. And Singapore has opened the stock market. Luxembourg left the German bloc, and we must pay more. You see, if France wants a piece of land in space, they must do this. You see, I'm clicking. There, they must click there if they want a piece of the space, but they don't want to pay for it. That's their problem. Tajikistan is bankrupt again. Unused stock slots. USA, listen, you left me, but I am very forgiving, so I'll accept you back. And Canada has degraded a bit. There we go, much better. And the other one, let's see. Who will that be? So the UK is of course our traditional partner there. Or Japan. They will just give us one because they hate us also. That's the other factor. 11. UK, welcome back. Now we can be a family again. Under our leadership, of course. So, there we go. Income, look at that. 1,300. Look how it changed. So, don't neglect the stock market if you're playing this game. West Yugoslavia left the bloc of Germany. What's happened here? Prison riots. There's been a massive riot in one of our larger prisons. This is one aspect of the game that can use a bit of love and care. You know, the spelling. The prisoners are demanding better treatment and improvement of their living conditions. And they may have a good point. I bet you this is the serial killer behind this. Our prisons are vastly overcrowded and the food we're serving, well, let's just say it's only just food. But I think that's fine. I mean, you're a criminal. Overall, the prison buildings, they're called prisons for a reason. Pacify them by any means necessary. Oh, we lose 10 HDI. Never. So I'll take the overhaul of the prison. So yes, we're being lenient to our prisoners, but we are a beacon of, I guess, goodwill in the world. Panama left Mexico. I don't even want to look at our debt. But at least that new stock market business will help us a lot. Oh yes, I also want to try and persuade the Australians again how good we are. Go. China, suspiciously quiet here. I guess after they got Taiwan, they're happy. Hey, and what did we get? We got something. I can see all 3 moons have been claimed. Hey, we got number 1, Europa. So more score for us, and there goes our friends again. And of course, this is the great prize. Hopefully there's good resources and obviously life under the ocean. Although we're not sure about that yet. Canada gets Callisto and Germany gets Ganymede. US is just missing out. And there's France. You see, they should have, instead of complaining, they should have invested more. And Japan is right at the bottom. So, at least that's something else for us. Wonder, what is it worth in terms of minerals? That's another 40. And again, it's the biggest prize. Fantastic. Hey, success. Let's see if the Australians are willing to enter into a block. I hope so. That'll be our first block. Oh, 0. How can it still be 0? Our relations are exactly right. And we have more than the required number of units. I don't know. It's clearly 0 there. But I'm gonna try it. Let's try it. Oh, they refused. Well, what can I do about it? They don't say a reason though. I'd love to know a reason. Jupiter. Jupiter is extremely rich in various resources. Unfortunately, severe radiation, that's true, stands in the way of its colonization. How can you colonize a gas giant? I guess again you put stations around it, or you have floating bases in the upper atmosphere or something like that. Hope is not yet lost, however, as with current technology we should be able to protect ourselves out from the worst effects. There's something that needs a bit of work. Before that can happen, control of all its moons is necessary. Interesting. I'm not going to fight the others over Jupiter. It's not worth it. Burma is bankrupt. Mashriq is bankrupt. Good for you. North Korea is bankrupt. Good for you as well. And Australia refused. And let me just clear all that. International underwater conflict, and guess who's behind it? North Korea. There has been a lot of commotion at the international underwater base, Nautilia, lately. Everyone's accusing everyone else of hoarding data and resources for themselves. This is clearly the end of the peaceful aquatic dream. That didn't take long. So what happens? Well, we claimed it, so we have it as a core, so they must go fly away. So yes, this Jupiter thing, I don't think it's really worth antagonizing Canada, and who was the other one? Germany, I think. Yes, it's not worth having a war with them just to get Jupiter. Uganda is bankrupt despite the help that we gave them earlier. So yes, at least all the stock markets are operating as normal. Hey, it never ends. Water conflict in Mozambique, so right on our doorstep. While our water resources are enough for our current needs, not everyone has the same luxury. They're asking us to share with them. We should still be relatively alright if we do so, but we'll be sacrificing a lot nevertheless. So, what do we have as options? Sharing is caring. Our GDP size will drop. 5,000 days, well, that's a long time to take up 30 penalty. Less money. Nah, it's ours and only ours. We'll conquer you anyway later, Mozambique, don't worry. Then you can share in all the water resources that we have. Okay, Pakistan is still bankrupt, no news there. I just want to look at this Australia thing. Is there any way for us to get them into a block? Now the relations are back down again. What's the use then? Is it because they consider themselves to be more developed than we are? I don't know. I guess I could put New Zealand in my block, but what help are they going to be in a war? 3, 3 and 4, that's not so great. I mean, anything is better than nothing, but still, there's a 3% chance. That's worthless. But let's improve relations. It only costs 7. And just see if anything comes of that. Because I'm never going to conquer New Zealand. So if I'm going to have a partner, I might take them. Let's see, what else? Where were we? We were busy with the green energy economy. Okay, so that's at least through now. Better relations with the whole world. Let's see, what else? Let's consider something else in the economy area. Infrastructure. More advanced public infrastructure. Definitely. Do it. Super rails. I like that. If we want to have a very advanced military project business here, or arms industry business, we're definitely going to need the economy to support that. Netherlands left Germany. Everyone's leaving Germany for some reason. This warmonger thing is taking years and years to go away. Let's pay some debt. 19,000, so we're all the way back where we were. Company nationalization. One of our top companies is going bankrupt. If we let that happen, thousands of people will lose their jobs. Maybe we can nationalize it? We're no socialists. Let it sink. GDP goes down for almost a year, and unemployment growth as well. I'll rather nationalize it. Let's do it. Failure. So no, New Zealand doesn't want to know anything about us. That's unfortunate. What is it with you two? For some reason, Australia and New Zealand seem to be rather hostile to us. Of course, Mozambique hates us now. So if we conquer them, it won't really hurt our relations. But the rest of the world still pretty much despises us. That's very strange. After all these years. Look at this. I don't know. Well, I'm just going to have to keep trying, that's all. 3% chance of going into the block, so at least they will be willing to consider it. The Australians are definitely 0. They don't want to know anything. Oh well. What about... who else? I don't know. Brazil, they'll never agree. It's not even an option. They've got their own bloc. My clock is telling me it's time to leave this episode. So let me just pause right here. Stock exchange opened by Colombia. It doesn't bother me. And there'll soon be some elections. And hopefully we'll get this formal ranking now. So yes, I don't know about the other partnerships. No one in Europe will probably partner with us. Germany has its own bloc, obviously. Let's just see. Yes, it's not been destroyed yet. France, 0. They won't consider it. UK will definitely not. They have their own bloc. Spain, own bloc, it seems. Don't know. That's a difficult one. We'll have to see. Israel? Well, you're in someone else's block, so you won't be able to. Oh well, this is for another day. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed and hope to see you in the next episode. Have a fantastic day.